Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Peace Corps Prep information session. We're looking forward to sharing information with you about the Peace Corps Prep program. We'll start with a couple of introductions. My name is Kelly Nelson. I work in the International Center full-time. I'm a senior program manager for global engagement and education abroad. And one of my roles in the International Center is to coordinate the Peace Corps Prep program. I am not a returned Peace Corps volunteer, but I did spend a significant amount of time studying abroad and participating in the Fulbright Teaching Assistantship Program in Germany in the past. Allie?
Hi, everyone. My name is Allie Cope. I'm the graduate assistant for the Peace Corps Prep program here at the University of Michigan. I'm also getting my master's of social work currently, and I'm a returned Peace Corps volunteer from Tanzania, where I served in the health sector from 2017 to 2019.
And there are two other members of the Peace Corps team that are not here on the call with us today, but you might interact with them at some point if you are interested in joining the Peace Corps in the future. So the International Center has two Peace Corps recruiters who are on staff, who are returned Peace Corps volunteers, as well as current graduate students. And currently in fall 2020, the recruiters are Mary Heineman and Betsy Nash, who you see pictured on the screen. Both are currently in the Masters of Social Work program at the University of Michigan. Mary served in Tanzania and Betsy served in Malawi.
So first off, we just want to give you a little overview of what Peace Corps actually is. So if you're unfamiliar, Peace Corps is a 2-year volunteer program through the US government. Volunteers serve in one of 6 sectors, including health, education, youth and development, community economic development, agriculture, or environment. Although you'll be in a sector, you might do work in a bunch of different ones, doing different projects and working with your community. Peace Corps volunteers travel to one of over 60 countries. All of the expenses are paid. You'll get a stipend when you're in country that covers your food and other costs. And then upon returning to the United States after your 2-year service, you do get a readjustment allowance to kind of help you transition back to coming to the United States. When you're serving in your communities, you're really working on the grassroots level. So you're partnering with community counterparts and in systems and institutions in your community to try and create sustainable projects. The selection for Peace Corps is definitely becoming increasingly competitive. And so being a part of the Peace Corps Prep program could help your application. It's not an all guarantee, but it is something that could be nicely highlighted and talked about in your application or interview. So then the Peace Corps Prep program in particular, it's a certificate program at the university that helps you throughout your undergraduate career, kind of prepare you for any intercultural service, global experience, or something like Peace Corps. It highlights 4 competencies, which Kelly will talk about on the next slide, and it kind of helps you map together your undergraduate classes, extracurricular and professional development activities so that you become a really well-rounded candidate. After you complete the program, you'll get a certificate that's issued from Peace Corps headquarters, and that helps you in your application process. There's something on the Peace Corps application that says that you've completed or are working on their certificate through the prep program, and that can make your application stand out.
All right, so now we're going to talk a little bit about the requirements of the Peace Corps Prep program. So there are 4 competencies that the Peace Corps has chosen for Peace Corps Prep. And so the first one is developing training and experience in one of the 6 work sectors of the Peace Corps. Then we have foreign language skills, then intercultural competence, and finally, professional and leadership development. I'm going to go into a little bit more detail about what each of these requirements entails. And to do that, I'm actually going to navigate to the International Center's website. Whoops. All right. In case you happen to just find yourself on the International Center's website, I want to show you how you can get to the Peace Corps prep information. You'll go to internationalcenter.umich.edu, and then over here on the right-hand side, you'll see a collection of quick links. And one of these is Peace Corps Prep. So if you click here on Peace Corps Prep, you'll be brought to the Peace Corps Prep homepage. Where again, you'll see some quick links and some general information about the program, including, how to make an advising appointment right down here. But for right now, we're talking about program requirements. So I'm going to navigate here to the program requirements section and scroll down. So there's a lot of information here on this website about how exactly to fulfill each work sector. There's also something called the Peace Corps Prep Student Guide, which has a lot more detailed information in it about the requirements. Also, if you do join Peace Corps Prep, you will be added to a Canvas site, which has modules which also give a little bit more information about the requirements. But hopefully this overview information will be helpful for right now. All right, so diving into work sector experience. So as Ali mentioned earlier, if you join Peace Corps Prep, you will have to choose one of the 6 Peace Corps sectors to work towards for your certificate program. Depending on which work sector you choose, there will be, different classes and different, volunteer experience that you will have. So just as an example, if you are interested in the environment sector, you would need to take 3 courses that are related to the environment sector and would prepare you academically for a volunteer position working in the environment sector. So you'll see here that the information on the website gives you some idea about what types of courses you might find or you might take in order to fulfill that requirement. In addition to the academic preparation, it's really important to have some actual experience in the field. And so Peace Corps Prep requires at least 50 hours of volunteer or work experience in a field that is related to your sector of choice. So you'll see here that our website lists some examples of how you might be able to get actual experience, both here on campus as well as in the community. And each one of the sectors has a similar structure. If you click on it, you'll see similar course recommendations as well as examples of where you might be able to get work sector experience. Okay, so moving on to the next requirement, foreign language. So this competency requires at least 2 foreign language classes. So there are some special requirements, though, if you are hoping to serve in a Spanish-speaking country in Latin America. If you are hoping to do this, you will need to take at least 2 200-level courses in Spanish. Similarly, if you are hoping to serve in a French-speaking country in West Africa, you should take at least 1 200-level course in French. Otherwise, if none of those things apply to you, then you just need 2 language courses in any language. So it doesn't necessarily need to be a language that is actually spoken in a Peace Corps country. What Peace Corps wants to see here is that you actually have experience learning a foreign language, because hopefully, some of that experience and the skills that it takes in order to learn a foreign language will kind of transfer over and help you when you're learning a new language when you arrive in your Peace Corps country. Intercultural competence is the next requirement for the Peace Corps Prep certificate. And so to fulfill this, you must take 3 courses. So if you click on each one of these little bars here, you'll learn a little bit more information about how to fulfill these requirements. So the first requirement is a core course, and you only need 1 of these. And as the website says here, the core courses involve critical reflection on engaging with cultural differences. Many of the core courses that I'll show you in a moment do have an experiential piece where you might have, an experience in the community that is very hands-on, and then in the classroom you'll be reflecting on that experience. And so we keep the core courses here on this Google spreadsheet. And so you'll see here that there's a wide range of courses available. I'm just going to slowly navigate here. There is one course that is not actually an in-person course. So the Community Engagement and Collaborating for Change course is an online course, and it's always an online course. It's part of the University of Michigan online MOOC courses. And so this is a really great example. If any of you have a really packed course schedule and you're a little bit worried about how you might be able to fit any one of these other courses into your schedule. So if you click on this link here, you'll learn more about accessing the course as a University of Michigan student. It's really important that if you are going to take this course, that you do access it this way. Because if you end up accessing it not through U of M, then you will be prompted to pay for the course. But as a University of Michigan student, it is free. As you'll see here, it does take 6 weeks if you do spread it out as recommended, but you're also able to power through, if you find yourself with a lot of time, maybe over the summer or in between semester breaks. So that's a good option for those of you who might have really busy schedules. The other requirement for intercultural competence is to take 2 elective courses. And for this, this requirement is a lot more open. So we actually don't maintain a list of courses to choose from for the elective. And that's because there are so many courses at the University of Michigan that could potentially fulfill this requirement. So instead, on our website here, we include some guidelines for ways that you can find and search for these courses, maybe within your major or within other departments or subjects on campus. So some guidelines here: the courses should have a focus on comparative perspectives, diversity and inclusion, and or the study of marginalized groups. At least one should have an international focus, again, because we are preparing for a potential international experience. The courses should be 3 credits each. And then we have some information here about how to do some searches that are targeted in the LSA course guide, for example. If you want a little bit more direction, we do link here some lists of courses, which tend to have a lot of really good options on them. So for example, the Community Action and Social Change course list has a lot of great courses. The International Minor for the College of Engineering, they have a whole list of courses that count for their comparative perspective requirement, and many of those would be great. And finally, International Studies Fall 2020 course list. This changes every semester, but this is a great place to find a lot of comparative courses, and including ones with an international focus. We also have this list here, elective intercultural courses for Peace Corps prep. This was a list that we used to maintain, and it used to be our kind of static list of elective courses. So you're also welcome to reference that, but just know that we're not updating it all the time, and it is not exhaustive. If you find a course and you think that it would fulfill your elective requirements, what you'll do is click on this really brief Peace Corps prep course petition form, in which you'll just enter some basic information about yourself, the number and title of the course you're petitioning. You'll add a syllabus here. It can be one from when you took the course or the most recent one that you can find on the internet, and then let us know what you're hoping it will count for. And then finally, type in a few sentences here about why you think the course would be a great fit for your intercultural competence elective course. Once you do that, either Allie or myself will email you back and let you know whether or not it has been approved. All right, moving on to the final competency, which is leadership and professional development. This competency is a little bit more straightforward. So one thing that you'll need to fulfill this competency is to have an interview skills appointment or attend an interview skills workshop that can take place either at the University Career Center, or maybe the Career Center within your school or college, or with one of our Peace Corps recruiters. The other thing is that you'll need to have your resume reviewed, again, either by the Career Center or by our Peace Corps recruiters. Once you do each of these things, you will need to be able to provide proof that you've done them. So we have a form that can be filled out in order to do this. However, now when we're working in the virtual space, it is okay to provide virtual proof via an email sent to the Peace Corps prep team confirming that you have had this experience. The last part of this requirement is to have at least one leadership experience. And this should be something that takes place while you are an undergraduate at the University of Michigan. So some examples could be being on the executive board of a student organization. It could be being an RA. It doesn't necessarily need to happen here on campus. It can happen in the community as well. But it should be an example of when you have seen or when you have worked on a project from start to finish. You thought of the idea and okay, I need to start over again. Sorry. I got distracted. Okay, all right.
You're doing great.
All right, and so the final requirement for the leadership and professional development competency is to develop or to have at least one leadership experience. And so this requirement does not actually have like an hour amount attached to it. It just needs to be an experience in which you have demonstrated that you can be a self-starter, in which you have proven that you're able to start a project and see it through to completion. Some examples of leadership experience on campus might be being on the executive board of a student organization, could be being an RA, it could be being involved in your faith community off campus. There are lots of different examples, but you should be prepared to discuss and write about why it is a significant leadership experience and what skills that you gained as a result of participating in it. And like with the work sector experiences, we do include some examples of how you might be able to find leadership experiences on campus. And of course, we have advising if you'd like to talk to one of us and brainstorm about how you might be able to develop that experience on campus.
Alrighty, so now I'm going to talk about some benefits of the Peace Corps Prep program and certificate. The first one is it definitely makes your education more dynamic, interdisciplinary, and engaging. So as Kelly just talked about, there are 4 different competencies. You get a chance to take courses that you're interested in related to a sector, also the ones with intercultural focus, and all of those can combine to make you a really nice and well-rounded applicant. The second one is it enhances your education by emphasizing marketable skills. So things like foreign language is always a super marketable skill in a lot of different career spaces. The intercultural piece, again, being able to dialogue and have conversations in different intercultural spaces is really important. Leadership, as we talked about, all of the career and resume and interview stuff can be really influential when you're kind of stepping into that space and kind of figuring out what positions that you might want to apply for in the future. And then everything is tied together with the coursework and the hands-on experience of your particular sector. Another thing is it does provide an opportunity to get the certificate, and that can always be highlighted on your resume. It's a really nice package type of thing where you can say, hey, I got this certificate. This means I've done all of this type of work. I've put all of this emphasis into my education, and it can be a really nice, tangible thing for someone who's hiring or looking at your application to see that you've done. As I talked about a little bit before, it does increase your competitiveness when applying to be a Peace Corps volunteer. So if that's your goal after graduation, having this certificate when you're doing the application and someone is reviewing that and interviewing you for Peace Corps can really make your application stand out. And the last one is networking opportunities. So at the University of Michigan, we do have a huge network of returned Peace Corps volunteers. So people who've served in a variety of different countries and different sectors and who are now doing different things here back in the United States or globally. So we have the ability to connect you with those people who might have career paths that you're interested in or have had experiences in Peace Corps and otherwise that you would be excited to talk with them about. And lastly, with the networking too, as a part of the program, you're with a ton of other students who have really identified interests that could be similar to yours. Maybe you have future goals that look similar and they have a wealth of knowledge on classes that you could take or clubs on campus or different things that they've also participated in that might be of interest to you. So I think this networking thing is really important, trying to figure out where you want to go after graduation or things that you want to do at your time at the University of Michigan.
So if you are thinking about applying to Peace Corps Prep, the application is available on mCompass. So that's mcompass.umich.edu. The easiest way to find it would be to click on keyword search, which is circled on the screen right now. And once you reach the menu for keyword search, you can type in the Peace Corps and it should pop right up.
And then new this year, we're doing rolling admissions. So you can apply anytime. You can just head over to mCompass and put your application in. We're reviewing those and sending out decisions within 2 weeks of receiving your application. And then we're also doing virtual orientation sessions monthly. So if you want to apply now, there'll be an orientation that comes up pretty soon after so you can get more information.
So now we're going to go through a couple of frequently asked questions that we often get about the Peace Corps Prep program. Allie and I will alternate. I'll start. Is the Peace Corps hard to get into? Do I really need this program? The Peace Corps is getting increasingly more competitive. So yes, it's important to be a really prepared candidate if you are planning to apply. One huge benefit of completing the Peace Corps Prep certificate is that when you do apply for the Peace Corps, there is a question that will ask if you will have completed the Peace Corps Prep certificate by the time you've graduated. So if you're part of the program, you can click yes, and then it will ask you to upload your exit checklist into the application. And basically the exit checklist is a PDF that summarizes all the different things that you have done in order to complete the certificate. This is really great because the Peace Corps placement officers will be reviewing that, and that is information that they would otherwise be hunting around your application to find. And so for Peace Corps Prep students, all that information will be nicely organized for the placement officer when they're reviewing your application. So it is absolutely helpful if you are going to be applying for the Peace Corps.
All right, number 2, I'm a senior. Is it too late for me to earn a Peace Corps Prep certificate? It is not too late. We've had seniors or juniors, upperclassmen in the past who've been able to retroactively count some of the stuff that they've already done at their time at the University of Michigan. However, I would strongly recommend that if this is you, to set up an advising appointment either with myself or Kelly, so we can look at the program requirements and the experiences that you have or might have time to still fulfill, just to make sure that everything works out on both ends. But it's not necessarily too late if you're a senior.
Number 3, what is the deadline for the application? As Ali mentioned earlier, this is the first year that we've had a rolling application, so you're able to apply at any time.
Number 4, what if I sign up for the Peace Corps Prep program but don't complete it for some reason? The Peace Corps Prep program is pretty self-guided. We do have some programming and events throughout the year to get you to know other students and other returned Peace Corps volunteers. But that being said, we do understand if sometimes you have the intention of completing something and it gets to kind of the end of your senior year or whatever, and you just don't think it's going to be feasible. So there's no penalty. We would highly encourage, if you're still interested in doing something like Peace Corps or another global opportunity after graduation, we have a ton of resources, and we would be more than happy to sit down and talk with you about those and some other options if you're interested.
Number 5, can I still do Peace Corps Prep if I'm an international student? Yes, you are absolutely welcome to join Peace Corps Prep as an international student. But it is important to note that the Peace Corps, the actual volunteer program abroad, is a US government organization. Therefore, participation in the Peace Corps is limited to US citizens only.
And number 6, I've successfully completed the Peace Corps Prep program. What's next? Woohoo, congrats. You have completed the program. We will mail you your certificate. And then afterwards, if you're interested in applying to Peace Corps, we would highly encourage that you connect with our Peace Corps recruiters just to go over things for your application, what have you. They have a lot of events that are geared towards applying to Peace Corps, and they can be great resources. Otherwise, if you're interested in other opportunities, feel free to talk with us. And we hope that the things that you've learned throughout the program will be helpful in your future.
Lastly, we just wanted to highlight that Peace Corps Prep has specific advising hours as does our regular Peace Corps office, which houses our Peace Corps recruiters. Now, this can be sometimes a little bit confusing. So I want to clarify that if you have questions about the certificate program that we just talked about today, then you'll want to have Peace Corps prep advising with Allie, or if Allie's not available, then you would meet with me. If you have questions about the application to the Peace Corps, and you want to talk about that process and interviewing for the Peace Corps and things like that, then you would contact the U of M Peace Corps office, so our recruitment office. So they are two separate offices, though we do work together often. You'll see here we have the fall 2020 advising information listed. This does change semester by semester, as it's based on our graduate student advisors class schedules. So depending on when you're viewing this video, this may or may not be accurate, but if you can't find a time that works for your schedule, then you should email the email addresses that you see listed on the screen right now for Peace Corps Prep. It's peacecorpsprep@umich.edu. And to reach our general Peace Corps advising office, it is peace.corps@umich.edu. And that wraps up our presentation for today. Thank you so much for viewing, and we hope to meet you soon. Bye.